Hi guys, welcome back to the wood turning section of my YouTube channel. And now, if you're watching this video, the chances are you're interested in wood turning, I would imagine, or you're just very bored. But if you're into wood turning, you'll know that for wood turning you need sharp tools, okay? Now, the chances are, if you're into wood turning, you have a grinder or some kind of sharpening tool, whether it be a belt grinder or a wheel grinder, a bench grinder, CBN wheels, whatever. You need a grinder to keep them sharp. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to do a 360 degree shot, basically, of my shed slash shack slash workshop, and you'll see that I don't have a great deal of space to play with. As you can see, there's hardly enough room to swing a cat round by the tail. In fact, I think you'd struggle to do that. And consequently, I don't have the luxury of having enough space to keep a grinder out all the time, which is unfortunate. So basically what I do is, once a week I will have a sharpening day. Any tools that I've used that week will get sharpened. Now you're probably thinking, wow, he only sharpens his turning tools once a week. No, I don't. I sharpen them on the grinder once a week. That doesn't mean they don't get sharpened in between. Just because the grinder's not out all the time doesn't mean I don't keep them sharp. Let me show you. Here we have various diamond horns, credit card size diamond horn there, but another diamond horn, but this is what I use most. It's a Spyderco, I do believe, yep, Spyderco ceramic. Hang on, bear with me again guys, sorry about this. Right, let's get back to the nice bright light. It's a Spyderco ceramic horn. It's made for sharpening knives, but it's works extremely well for touching up turning tools. Okay? And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean touching up the edge on turning tools. I've been using this, I've had this particular one for about 9 years now. Basically it's made out of synthetic sapphire that's impregnated into a ceramic that's then placed in an oven and fired at God knows what heat, something like 2,000 or 3,000 degrees for about a week. And it comes out rock hard like this. On one side you've got a medium, and on the other side, one side you've got fine, and on the other side you've got super fine. I generally only use the white side, which is super fine. You wait while your tool gets a little bit, shall we say, not sharp anymore. It's lost its edge. A couple of brisk upward, you follow the edge round with this, round the tool. Or even, what I've started doing is, I'll have to put the camera down and show you. This is going to be difficult. Now I'm hoping the camera's going to focus on this to show you. This is how I work it. Lay it on the bevel, guys, and just pull it backwards and forwards as you're working it round. Okay? It's a little bit hard to do with a camera hanging off your neck. Or you can just slide it round. And you'd be surprised. A couple of slides like that, and that tool will be razor sharp. And I mean razor sharp. It will sharpen just about anything you want. It's synthetic sapphire, which is second only to diamond. It will sharpen high-speed steel, carbon steel. It will sharpen tungsten carbide. It will sharpen 2030, 2060. You name it, it will sharpen it. And basically, it's, you know, when you go to a grinder, all right, it's not taking a great deal off every time you sharpen it, but this takes a great deal less than a grinder does off. So if you go running to the grinder every hour or so, or even less, your tool is probably only going to last you about 2 or 3 a year. With this, you know, I touch my tools up and then sharpen them on the grinder once every week, generally. And in between, they get touched up with diamond hones or this, generally this. And, you know, my tools last years and years and years. I mean, this tool here, this Hamlet, that's 9-year-old. And look how much meat it's still got on the blade. See what I mean? Makes sense. Why would you go to a grinder when it doesn't need sharpening? All it needs is touching up. All the edge needs is honing slightly. That's all. It's pointless. You're just grinding pointless metal away. You know, and turning tools aren't cheap these days. We all know that. Alright, you know, they're not super expensive, are they? Although some of them are. This 2060 one here was what? About £90, I think. So, you know, that's not cheap in anybody's eyes. Unless you're a millionaire, of course. But it makes sense, guys. Maybe you'd like to give that a go. Buy a diamond hone, but I recommend those ceramic sapphire hones. Brilliant, Spyderco made by. They also, if any of you hone the inside, the inside of the bevel, the channel, they also make this, I don't know what you call it, single slip file. It's sort of a heart shape, if you can see that in cross section. And that will get in there. It's got a sharp edge at one end and a more rounded end at the top. It's also got a channel down as well for doing fish hooks and such. But that will get into the channels, you know, into your for doing the inside. But they're the two things that get most use for sharpening. Those two ceramic slipstones, they work really, really well. Highly recommend them, guys. Super recommend them. You know, why go to the grinder every 5 or 10 minutes and grind metal off which doesn't need grinding off? All you need to do is touch up that edge with the hone. Makes sense. And it will save you a lot of money over your turning. I mean, I've been at it 10 years now, and compared to some of you guys that are watching this, hopefully, why aren't you watching? And if you're not watching, you wouldn't hear me saying, why aren't you watching? That don't make sense. Some of you have been turning a hell of a lot longer than what I have. I've been turning 10 years, as I say. Some of you will have been turning 30, 40, 50 year, 60 year, maybe some of you. And you just think over that lifetime, how many turning tools have you worn, have been worn away by the grinder. Just think how many turning tools you would have saved if you just touched that edge up with a horn, ceramic horn. Makes sense. Right guys, that's the end of this video. Just thought I'd mention that. As I say, I only sharpen at the bench grinder once a week, and then in between I touch up with the ceramic horns. They work brilliant, really do. I've noticed on the forums, some of the professionals have discovered them as well now, some of the professional turners. So it's not just me that thinks they work really well. I've been using them for 10 years. Some of the professionals have only just noticed them, so I bet them it's my idea. Right guys, I'm going to get off before I go mad. No, I'm already mad. Right, I'll catch you later guys. Take care in that workshop of yours. Watch those fingers. Catch you later guys. Take care. Bye bye.